I didn't want to do this video because, some of the stuff I'm going to talk about, it's not sexy stuff, but it's absolutely important. Wow, what camera did you use? You guys have no idea how freaking badass that is. Oh, hi there. Welcome to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. Let's talk about some gear. We all love our gear, camera gear, hiking gear, backpacks. I love me some backpacks. If I could just have a channel about backpacks, I'd probably be okay with that. I'm already getting on a tangent. Okay, I've got my spicy mango lemonade from Trader Joe's. I could also do a whole episode just about this stuff. It's my favorite lately. I love it. Okay, gear. Here's what this is. Oh, excuse me. It's spicy. I want to tell you about some cool stuff that I'm using lately. I think I'm going to start doing this maybe twice a year or something, because I am always trying out new things and new gear. And in the past, sometimes companies will reach out and they'll be like, hey, you want to review this and make a video about it? I used to do that sometimes. I'm not doing that anymore because, I guess I would do it if it was like heavily sponsored or something, but I don't know. I'm not doing that. I don't want to be a gear channel. I want to be a channel about adventure and art. I do occasionally want to talk about gear because I like gear. And gear is important. Why is gear important? Because it allows you to realize your creative hopes and dreams and ambitions. You need the gear. You need good boots if you want to go on a hike. You need a good sleeping bag if you're going to camp out in the cold. You need a decent camera if you want to take some decent pictures. Am I making my point? Yes. So occasionally, we're going to stop. We're going to do a full stop. We're going to talk about gear. That's what this is all about. I'm going to try and not get too long-winded because I think this might be long. We are going to talk about, in this episode, I love this one. Any kind of, here's the, I don't get any money from any of this stuff. I don't. Maybe I should be cool and have affiliate links. I don't have those. Sorry. I'm just sharing what I love with you guys. I'm going to intersperse some of the gear I'm talking about with some Q&A questions. I reached out and said, hey, if you want to ask me about some gear, send some questions. I got some really great questions, so I'm going to address a couple of those. Let's start off with that right out of the gate, okay? This just kind of sets the stage for things, and this is a great question. I'm often puzzled about some photographers' attitude to gear. Reluctant to speak of this and that camera, although casually dropping the Leica name. Yeah, it happens. I've never been guilty of that. As if their photographs were above such things. Yet musicians will eagerly chat about instruments, studio kits, software, even collection of guitars or keyboards or whatever, and cinematographers wax lyrical over certain lenses. So in short, I'm looking forward to your video with some gear chat. Go for it. Okay, why are photographers reluctant to speak about gear sometimes, except for, name dropping their really expensive high-end cameras? Look, here's why. There's one reason for this, and I'll tell you right now. Maybe you've had this happen to you. I bet you have. You take a decent picture, you put it online, you show your girlfriend, you show your boyfriend, you show your parents, you show your grandma, you show your friends, and they go, wow, what camera did you use? You're just like, what camera do you use, man? As if you could just go buy that camera and take the same picture as that person. It's not that simple. Lens is more important than the camera. You know what's most important? The photographer. So photographers get really uptight when people go, oh, I really love that work. What camera do you use? No. I didn't just go buy that camera and make those pictures. It's not about the camera. It's about the photographer. It is about their skill. It's about their vision. It's about where they place the lens. It's about how they set it up. It's about their artistic expression, them showing you how they see the world. If they're worth their salt, that is. Some people just go out and just try and take pictures like everybody else, and that's cool. You do you. It's all good. It's all good. I think that's why photographers are reluctant to talk about gear as much. But make no mistake, they're all obsessed with gear, and there's a lot of photographers that just use one camera and they'll have had the same camera for 20 years. Some professional photographers, this is what I use this camera, I use this film, I use this lens. That's what I do. That's how I see the world. That works. I don't need to complicate it. I really like that. That's my answer to that question. Let's get into the gear. The first thing I want to talk about is, should I show you the box? I just got this thing a few weeks ago and I freaking love it. Okay, this is, ba-bing! Can you see? Can you see the box? I know. Videos with boxes are pretty boring. This is the... Here it is. Let me just bring it up here. This is the... I didn't want to do this video because I have a hard time with the name. This is the Zhiyun. Zhiyun? Is it Zhiyun? You guys make super rad products, but your name is weird. I guess because I'm a dumb American and I have a hard time with this Chinese name. Zhiyun. Zhiyun. It's cool. It's like kind of sci-fi. It's like, you know, I am Rhaegar from the Zhiyun clan on the moon of, I don't know. Anyways, it's a dope name. It's just hard for me to say. This is the Zhiyun Weeble. I like that name. The Zhiyun Weeble 3E. It's a little gimbal. It's a little handheld gimbal. Actually, I've got some extra stuff on here that it doesn't come with. This is actually what it is, okay? Let's turn this sucker on, and I'll tell you about it. We unlock it here. It's got these little lockers. No. Okay, it's unlocked. We'll turn it on. I love this thing. I just got it. I've used a lot of gimbals over the years, and I use them in my work because I do a lot of TV and stuff. Check this out. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look at that. I've got the G9 Mark II on here with a Leica 8 to 18 millimeter lens, which is the lens I like on here. Anyways, tangents, focus, Ben, focus. I use a lot of gimbals professionally. I haven't owned one in quite a while. I've owned a few in the past. Generally, I only use them on specific jobs. So I usually just rent one and I'll need it for a week or two or whatever, or I'll hire a dude with one when I'm doing like something for a Discovery Channel or History Channel. Look at this thing. What I like about this, boop, so you can put it on the ground and zoop, 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 zoop. Anyways, it's got different modes. It's got this little mode button here you hit, a little power on button. You can adjust the roll right here. Whew, whew. If you get out of whack, you just double click this and it goes back. Pretty cool. I mean, oh, by the way, it comes in this cool case. I pulled it right out of the box. I turned it on. I put a camera on it. In 5 minutes, I had it leveled and I was doing cool shots. And I was like, man, this thing is like so easy and so light. Did I write down the weight? Yes, it's 990 grams. Super light. It folds up like in the size of like an A4 piece of paper. So basically when you take the camera off and you roll it flat, you can just put this thing in a backpack. Here's what I love about it the most, and that is this accessory Zhiyun sent me with it. And by the way, Zhiyun reached out and said, hey, do you want to review this? And I said, yeah, but I don't want to make a video just about it. I might put it in another gear video, and so I did. But my opinions are my own. Anyways, I asked them if they would send this little guy with it. And so here's how it just goes on the back. Okay, here's the thing I love. I think this product is super, super smartly designed. And it's like this little unit that goes on the bottom, which is like a brace for your wrist. It just like slides right on. You lock it. It's so satisfying. This little tripod deal comes with the main unit, and then you screw it on the bottom of this brace. So, you know, you can do that. You can like stretch it out like that. It also has this little like wrist guard. So it just like braces you. And then see this little dial? You basically can adjust the tilt of that. It's so satisfying. And then, wait, there's more. This guy folds over. You lock it back in. Now you can go, boom, suitcase mode. Boom. Boom! I haven't had a gimbal in so long and I love this thing. I've already used it on a couple of videos, which, spoiler alert, are upcoming. Here's some footage of one. Anyways, you're gonna see a lot of gimbal footage coming up in some videos because I love this thing. Thanks for sending it, Zhiyun. And how much is this? This thing is 250 bucks. I kind of can't believe it, like the technology that's in here and how it's so affordable. I'm gonna turn it off. So anyways, that's my review. There's actually a lot of, if you look on YouTube and online, if you're really interested in much more of an in-depth breakdown of this, by people who are better at reviews than me, they're out there. There's a million of them about this thing. I kind of was hoping they'd send me a bigger one, but I told them what cameras I had and they sent this one. I'm actually really glad this is the one I got. It's got this dope white look and I love this handle. I love this thing. I'm gonna take this to, should I tell you that? Yeah, by the time you watch this, I'm gonna be in Australia. I'm going to Australia on an expedition. I'm going to the outback to do a job. And I'm taking this sucker. I'm gonna use this sucker in Australia. Love the Zhiyun Weeble 3E. Okay, back to the questions. I've been following your channel for years, and one observation is that most of your work is shot in 28mm Q2 and 105mm range. For my part, it'd be interesting if you touch on lens selection, when to go wide versus long. I used to have a Q2 and 28mm. So early on in my channel, all my videos featured that camera because I love those Q cameras. I got that because I always have been like a 50 to 85 mostly was like my favorite lenses. I had a 70-200 for a while. I shot a lot of stuff with that. I like long lens landscapes, but I wanted to be stuck with a wide angle, so I had a Q and I used that for 3-4 years. Love that camera. Love that lens. I'm a Leica. I love Leica. That Q kind of changed me, and now my walk around lens is what I've been walking around with is a 35mm. A manual Voigtlander. I think you've seen that on the channel. I might do a whole video about that because my walk around setup, like in depth, it's really changed me. But if you look at all my street cinema videos and some of the recent stuff, 35mm f1.2 Voigtlander. I'm also, here is my S5 2X, which is my daily driver. I've also been walking around, I did this morning even, walking around with this 100mm S Prime from Lumix. I love this lens. I should do a video about it because I use it all the time and I love it. Anyways, when to go wide versus long, I guess it's what you want to do, you know? I'm not a zoom guy, so I like primes. I mean, I have some zooms, but I almost never use them. If I'm just gonna walk around, I just pick a focal length and I go with it. And some days I go long and some days I go wide. If I'm shooting people anymore, I have this now. I could have put this in the gear video, but I'm not gonna. I've recently got one of these again, which this is a Sigma 85mm DGDN 1.4 Art. I love this lens. So this is my people lens now. It's kind of dirty because I had it in the jungle. Anyways, when to go wide versus long. If you're in a small room, maybe it's good and you want to get the environment, then you go wide. If you really want to get tight on someone and you want to kind of crush the background and have a lot of separation, then you go long. I typically see the world longer. I like long lens landscapes. I typically have a hard time going wider than 35mm anymore. Even 28 just got to be where that was just a little too wide for me. I used to never like 35, like that was too wide, but now I love 35. That's my preference. You do you. Next, little bit of gear. Oh yes, okay. 2 bags that I've been using. Look at this. Boom and boom. These are both from Wattencraft. This is the Pilot 2-liter bag, and this is the Pilot Travel 7-liter bag, okay? Now, I took both of these to the jungle on my last expedition. 2 months in the jungle with both of these. I didn't use them every day, but I used them a lot. And by the way, here's the 7L. If you guys follow Matt Day, he's like a OG YouTuber. Matt Day's like, mostly does film photography, but a lot of stuff. He's super sharp. I've been following Matt Day since early on. He was like one of the dudes that kind of gave me the courage to start doing a YouTube video. And I thought, oh, maybe I could just be authentically me and not be super obnoxious. Although I feel like sometimes I am super obnoxious. Anyways, Matt just had a video where he reviewed one of these and he made a whole long video about it. I'm not doing that, but I'm going to tell you that I love this bag. Wattencraft did send me these because they're kind of my friends and they send me stuff every now and then. Like my favorite little wrist camera strap, and I've got another backpack they sent me, but I'm going to tell you about these. Here's the 7-liter, the big one, which I use mostly because I could put a couple bodies in here and a couple lenses. They've got these cool pouches that you can get as extra accessories that strap onto the outside, and you know, this one's like kind of a drawstring, this one's a zipper. I'll typically like put my batteries and stuff in here so I can reach it. I'll put like a little water bottle on the outside. There's like pass through here. You could put a small tripod in there. Tripod coming up here. There's also straps underneath where you could put a tripod on. There's dividers inside where I've put my small laptop in here. You can configure this just like any kind of camera bag. There's just storage everywhere. There's zippers in the front. Put stuff down in here. There's another zipper in the back. So you can put stuff there. They're super tough. They look like something Indiana Jones would have. That's why it's pretty dope to have in the jungle. Here's the raddest thing. Check this out. I don't know if it's the raddest thing, but it's up there. These little buckles that they come with, look at this. Boop. And then you have to pull it aside. It's like magnetic, and it just goes, boop. They just go together really easy. Boop. And then come out. So that's the 7 liter. Here's the 2 liter, which same buckle. Super cool strap that goes over your shoulder. I don't know if I'm demonstrating this really nicely. Let's put this sucker on. It goes right here. This is like the perfect size for kind of how I roll out in a day. I'll just have a camera and a lens. You know, maybe I just throw my M6 in this. That's great. It's great for an M6. A couple rolls of film. This one has this little pouch that's an add-on accessory I put in the outside. Sometimes I'll put my phone in there. Then it's like not even on my person and I don't have to think about it. Same dope thing. Another little kind of molly thing here. You can put something on the outside. Pocket here in the back. Pocket here in the front. You can configure the inside. If you just want like a cool kind of go anywhere sling camera bags, these are amazing. Let me tell you how much these cost. This Pilot, this 2 liter one, 99 bucks. I'm going to put links to all these products down below too. And then this guy, the Big Daddy, 179 bucks. So less than $200. These are awesome. I love the kind of like pseudo vintage military aesthetic of these guys in their gear. I love the earthy tones, and it just kind of blends in. Like my stuff gets really dirty and I'm outside a lot. I love both these bags. Okay, here we go. Another question. I need some more spicy mango juice. The lightest and toughest gear for documentaries. Let's say you have an S5 2X, 20 to 60, 35 prime, 70 to 300, that's pretty light. Or G9 II, 12 to 60, 25 millimeter, and a 50 to 200 millimeter Leica. That's pretty light too. But if you use a GH6 or GH7, the full frame is about the same weight. So what is best to hike up and down mountains, weather sealed, good battery life, and lightest? Long question, but I think you know a lot about this. What's the best small, light documentary camera for super active remote work? Okay, would you go full frame? Or would you go, oh, the GH7 is filming me. Would you go full frame or would you go micro four thirds? If I was doing something really remote in a tough environment, jungle, mountains, right now, I've recently started using micro four thirds again. I would go micro four thirds and I'd take a GH7. Why? It is pretty light, about the same as full frame. It's not like super light, but the lenses are light. You know, you can get 2 or 3, whatever lens selection you want. I really like the 8 to 18 I have on here. 8 to 18 is like a super wide angle. Maybe the 50 millimeter one or the 25 millimeter 1.4, and then maybe a longer lens. I don't know. Here's the thing that's dope about like a GH7, internal stabilization. So that smaller sensor is better stabilized. Plus the cameras are super tough. Like, I don't know, you watched my cookie jar video. We slammed the friggin' camera against the wall a bunch of times and it didn't break. I don't think you're gonna do that on most jobs. I mean, it might happen, but if it does and you're remote and the thing gets beat up, they're weather sealed, they're tough. I just think it's the way to go. You know, the batteries are small and light. They don't use a ton of power. You can get an external audio adapter to put on them, which I have on the GH7 right now. That's how I'm getting audio through this shotgun mic that you probably can't see, but it's right here coming at me, going XLR right into there. So that's perfect for dock use. Should I do a whole video on like maybe a micro four thirds or a mirrorless camera dock setup? I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to do a workshop actually about it, like an in-person workshop, but should I make a video about that? Because going out and solo filming things, that's what I do. And I do it for the Discovery Channel, and I do it for the History Channel, I do it for Nat Geo. So I know a lot about that. I typically don't use smaller mirrorless cameras. I'm using bigger shoulder mount cameras, mostly. Although sometimes small handheld cameras when I got to go in caves and things. The point is, I know a lot about shooting with light gear in remote places because I do it professionally. Should I make a video about that? Do you guys care about the filmmaking? The filmmaking stuff for me, I don't have that kind of audience. Like a lot of people don't seem to show up for my filmmaking BTS videos. But I don't know. Should I try it? Should I do it? Leave me a comment. Our next, okay. Some of the stuff I'm going to talk about, it's not sexy stuff, but it's absolutely important. And these guys reached out to me, Freewell. And they wanted to know if I wanted to review this sleek travel tripod. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, look at this thing. This is the Freewell Sleek Travel Tripod. That's what it says on the box. It says Sleek Travel Tripod, but what it says online is the Real Travel Tripod. It's real and it's sleek. Look, this thing is less than 2 pounds. It's carbon fiber. I've been using this for a while now on some videos. Okay, a tripod. I actually really love this. And last year I bought an expensive, compact, lightweight travel tripod from one of the top manufacturers. I had a high rating. I thought, oh, that looks pretty good. I need that. I don't like that tripod at all. I kind of want to get rid of it. And then these guys sent me this to review, so I'm just talking about it here. I love this thing. I would buy this thing right now. That's okay. That's what I think, and I'm so grateful. How much is this thing, by the way? It is $249. So it's not inexpensive. It's worth every penny. Here's why. First of all, look at this. Here's what the legs do. You do a little twist. Whoop. Whoop. See that? Boom. Boom. I love these little anodized metal knobs. These are just a pleasure to use. I love this little handle, the little twist. I love all the controls are awesome. This is so much easier to use than the really expensive, really big brand name one that I've been using. I'm not going to throw it under the bus and talk about it, but I just love this thing. What are some other features? I wrote down some features. Oh, okay. Check this out. I love this. Okay, let me just stand this sucker up so you can see. Whoop. Can you see? Let's turn this. Here is my S5 IIX, and I have this tilted cage on it, which, by the way, I could do a whole video about these tilted cages. I have a tilted cage on my GH7 as well. This is a half cage. That's a full cage. I love this half cage. I'm thinking I'm going to talk about that at some point, but I don't have time today. This is getting too long. Look at this. This at the bottom of this half cage, it's an Arca Swiss plate. So I can just drop this right in, tighten it up, and I'm good to go. So for me and the gear I'm using, this is like, it's so amazing. I don't have to worry about futzing around and pulling plates on and off. I just pop it right in this sucker when I want to do something, and it comes right out. It's like, why didn't I have one of these like a long time ago? That's what I'm saying. So I love this Freewell tripod. I like the way it looks. I like the cool red anodized. I love the legs, which all you do is just boom, slide it up, boom, boom. I love the legs and how they just twist right up. I love the way this thing folds right up. It's super small. It'll just go, like I'm looking at this, it's just gonna go like right underneath this bag, and so I'm gonna strap it down there. It's very, very lightweight. Totally taking this thing to Australia. When you watch this, I'm gonna have this thing in Australia, getting all dirty, getting kicked around by some kangaroos and stuff like that. I love this. Check it out. Would love to hear how you use the small aperture LED for stills versus carrying a strobe. Now you're talking about this. Have I talked about this on the channel? I have. This little aperture light. I don't really use it for stills though. I also have this little Nanlite tube LED light. I love this thing. I probably use it more because it's a little bigger and brighter, even though it's bulkier. I love it. I love these Pavo tubes. I don't know about that question. I don't really, if I want a lot of light, I just usually use a strobe. I generally don't use these type small lights for stills. I mean, I'm not saying I haven't. I probably have, but it's not something that I set out to do like on purpose. I have bigger lights. You want to talk about lights? Let me show you a light I really like. Actually, one of them is lighting me right up here, and you can't see that, darn it. But here's I have two of these, so I'm going to show you this one. And this is the Nanlite FC. This is the 60B. These are bicolor. And the 120 is up here. So I have a 60 and a 120. This is the 60. These things have like a mini Bowens mount. They have this little spot thing, and then here's the LED. And then you can also put on like a big Bowens adapter and put on all your modifiers and stuff. I have like an Octa, like a small octa up here with a grid on it. That's what's lighting my bald dome. But these things are, I love these, 60 and a 120. They're bicolor, so you just dial in the temperature and then you dial in the intensity. You can power them through USB-C. So like, look how small this is. You can put this in a backpack. You can have an external battery and you can just, boom, put it on a stand and have light. So you want to do video, you want to do a remote interview, boom, done. You don't have power, boom, done. Plenty of power with a little modifier, plenty of power to do a little interview, to do a little portrait. If you're not going to overpower the sun or anything, but if you're in a dark room like this, plenty. Check these out, the FCs, 60 and 120. They are, by the way, I'm putting links down below. I'm not going to kick back on any of this stuff, okay? I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just telling you what I'm using and what I like. Nanlite gave me these because they send me lights to test out. They don't ever ask me to like make a review or anything. They're just like, hey Ben, we like what you're doing. Do you want to try this out? Yeah, I do, and I've had these for months now, and I've used them a lot, and I haven't talked about them. But somebody asked about lights. I'm stoked about these little lights. I can put 2 of these in a like a small Pelican case or a backpack, and I'm good to go. I like things small and light. I like efficiency, and I like that they're battery powered. The 60, this one, $159, $160, and then the 120, $200. So get them wherever you get your cool lights. Let me pack this up. Things like this, they're just like, they're efficient. They're cool. They get the hell out of the way and they let me just be creative and they make it easy for me. That's what all this gear is about. So that's why I like it. Another question, would love to know your setup for manual lenses, how you are critically focusing on different bodies. Also would love to show us behind the scenes of how you make your outdoor adventure shoots, planning, thought process for the shot, etc. When I have a manual lens on one of these Lumix bodies, there's a little joystick right here and I have it set to where if you hit that, it punches in. So, and then you can choose the magnification by this little dial here. So if I'm always like, if something's a little ways away, I'm just here and I just hit the little boom, it punches in and I have my peaking on and I can get critical focus. These have a really good EVFs. Most cameras do nowadays, but still you punch in, it's chunky. It's not like you're not seeing critical detail. But you can kind of gauge it, you kind of rack it back and forth and you find that sweet spot where it's sharp. Once you do this a lot, you're just kind of like, and you kind of know, you know where it's sharp and you don't miss very often if you do it a lot. And I do it a lot. So I've gotten pretty good at it. It works for me. That's how I critically focus with manual lenses. And I love shooting manual lenses. On this, I love that 35 I always have on here. So that's usually what I have. But if I have autofocus, man, I use it. Although with this macro lens, a lot of times I'm manually focusing with the macro, and it's the same thing. Just boom. Although then it just, it just punches in. If you can set it to where when you roll the barrel, the focus barrel, it just punches in for you if it's in manual. So it just does that automatically. It knows it because it talks to the lens. Would love to show us behind the scenes of how you make your outdoor adventure shoots, planning, thought process. I don't put confession, I don't put a lot of planning or thought process into it. Sometimes I think about it for a little bit, but I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go out on Tuesday and let's see, what am I going to do? I'm going to leave. When do I want to be there? I want to be there at sunup, so I got to get up early. Okay, here's what I'm taking, this gear, and then I just go. And then outdoor adventure, usually that's me like with a camera I'm shooting with and then like another camera that I'm setting up to shoot me. And so it's a lot of like moving around, set the camera up, walk through. Dude, it's a lot of work. By the way, this thing, back to this guy, I'm going to start using this for my self-shooting videos because I can take this and I can actually, it'll actually flip around and you can film yourself like, boop, and then I can just put it on the ground and boom, point it where I want and it'll film me. So I'm going to use this a lot. You know what this does that I didn't mention earlier? I think this has, I was researching, it has a function where you can connect it to the camera via Bluetooth and via USB cable, and you can actually control the camera with this, like it's got a start and stop feature. But you can also do time lapses. So like motion control time lapses. So I love doing time lapses and I'm gonna figure that out once I've had this a little longer, maybe in Australia. And I'm gonna make some time lapses with this sucker, and I'm gonna show you guys that when I bring it back. That's kind of all it is. And I just think, okay, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna shoot a bunch of stuff. And you know, I generally that stuff is what I like about doing my little adventure videos is it's kind of just like the spirit of adventure is like you don't know what's gonna happen, right? So like maybe you have a sort of a plan, but then you're just open to whatever happens. And that's kind of how I approach it. It's just like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to take pictures and I'm going to film myself. And then I'm reacting in the moment to what I find, to what happens, to the environment. Sometimes I find things, sometimes weird stuff happens. And I just cover what happens. And that's why I really like it. I actually really like that process. Much more than I like sitting here in front of the camera. So I hope you like this video. Let's see, what else? Oh, okay, 2 other things. Here, let me show you something. This is not sexy, but this is something I've been using, and that is this Lexar card reader. Why is this cool? Because it's got both CF Express Type B and SD, and I'm using both those cards now that I'm using the GH7, so I have to use these CF Express Type B, because that thing, if I'm shooting like ProRes video, it just eats, you know, you can only shoot ProRes onto these cards, and it just chews through the footage. So I have some pretty big cards. I've been using these Lexars lately. This is a 512 card. Boom, I can just pop that in if I'm out shooting. And then if I'm shooting stills on, say, the S5 II, I can just take this Lexar SD card. Boom, I can plug these both in, dump them on a hard drive. It's super fast with this USB. This card reader is amazingly fast. These cards are super fast. So this is something that has been saving me a ton of time when it comes to dumping footage and dumping photos onto a hard drive. Yeah, not sponsored or anything. I'm just using these and I love them. Boom. I tell you what, having big cards is so nice. This is the very last thing that I'm stoked about, and don't roll your eyes. This is my little Yeti travel mug. I can't remember even what this is called, and I didn't write it in my notes here, so I'll just put it down below. I bought this, okay? I bought this and it was expensive. And I bought this and it was expensive. I'll put a link down below if you want to buy one. I don't get any money from any of this stuff. Maybe I should be cool and have affiliate links. I don't have those. Sorry. I'm just sharing what I love with you guys. So I like my coffee, and in the morning I get up, and usually before the sun is up, I'm out walking with my camera. I just go walk 3-4 miles and I take pictures and I think, and I like to have a cup of coffee when I'm walking. And I used to like carry a mug, and then I'm carrying a camera, and then I'm like, man, my hands are always full. And then I saw this. It's a travel coffee mug, or you can put other stuff in it. I've been at the pool and had like half a bottle of wine in here. That was pretty cool because you weren't allowed to drink at the pool, but I wanted to drink some wine. Yeah, but mostly it's for coffee. And then I have this little holder. So look, here's what I do. This goes over here. I've got coffee in here. So I don't need, my hands are free. I can hold my camera. Do. Oh, I want some coffee. Boop. Done. You guys have no idea how freaking badass that is. It's like my favorite thing. It's a key piece of gear for me. And it's got these cool little clips. So if you have like, you know, like on this little bag, I could actually clip that right to this little thing and have it right on the side. Like, that's pretty dope. If I didn't want to have it around me and I just wanted to sling that, this strap will come off. Anyways, Yeti, way to go. Not sponsoring this, didn't give me crap. I bought it, but they make really good stuff. I love this. Is that it? Are there any more questions? I think that's it. Okay, I recorded for 41 minutes, you guys. Of course it's gonna be shorter. I'm gonna edit it down. Wow. Thanks for watching. Do you have any questions? Excuse me. Do you have any questions? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you want to see. I'm in Australia. There's some cool videos coming up. I filmed a bunch and they're gonna be playing, and they're different than what I've done before, but kinda. But there's some cool stuff coming up. So the very next video, though, is about another piece of gear that I didn't want to include in this video because it's a little different, and it's something that I totally love. So I hope you show up for my next video after this one. It'll be out in a week or two. That's it. Thanks for watching. Beep, beep, beep. Subscribe, you know, whatever. Okay, bye.